Hi there, crafty peeps. Enis here from Papercrafting with Enis, and I'm on today with my very first Ollie's haul. Now, I do have an Ollie's that's not too far from me, but it is in an area that I don't go to very often. And the only reason I actually ended up stopping was because I had a traffic problem on my way home from work yesterday. And it was so bad they shut the freeway down and rerouted us a whole bunch of different ways. And my travel time normally to get home from work is 25 minutes on a good day. Well, after an hour of my rerouted drive, I finally was able to get off the freeway they routed us to and onto a main road that will lead eventually to my house. Okay, probably another half an hour down the road. So that would make my drive from a 25-minute drive to altogether probably an hour and a half. And I was not happy about it. But as luck would have it, that road I was put on led right past the Ollie's store. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get out of this traffic. I'm going to go into Ollie's and I'm going to poke around. Now, you know, of course, I don't need anything. But everybody keeps saying, you got to go to Ollie's, you got to go to Ollie's. So I said, okay, I'm going to stop in. I'm going to poke around and see what they have. And I was able to find a few things. Overall, I would say I was a little disappointed because it didn't have all the great stuff I've been seeing everybody haul. It did have a few good things that I was interested in the way of crafting things. It is a huge store, at least the one that's by me is. It has departments for all sorts of things, from house goods to appliances, party goods, books, automotive, toys, men's clothes. I mean, all kinds of stuff. But of course I wasn't interested in that, and I really wanted to get home from work, but I said, you know what, I'm going to poke around and see if I can find some crafty goodies. Well, obviously this isn't crafty, but this was the first thing that I ran across that I was really excited about. So I found my way into an aisle that had like school supplies, paper, and some art and craft supplies. Not a whole lot in paper crafting, the kind of paper crafting we would do. But they did have these books in there, and these are Sesame Street Write in White books. And as a lot of you know, I do have a little granddaughter. She is 2.5 years old. And while she can't actually write letters and numbers, she already knows all of her letters. She knows all the numbers up to 25. She knows all of her colors. She's super, super smart. And she loves Sesame Street, and Elmo is her favorite. So when I saw this, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick that up for her. So this book was $1.99, and it does come with this marker here. And it is a write in white book. And I'm not going to go through all the pages, but it talks about the letters and animals that go with the letters. And they can take the marker and just draw along different things, write pictures, do puzzles and whatnot. And so that goes through A through Z, and then it does numbers 1 through 20, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, 1 through 20 has a little puzzle on the end here. Then it's got a little page here where they can write about themselves. And then it has a few puzzles and coloring pages in the back. This is a heavier paper. You know, it's not regular coloring book paper. It's a little bit thicker, but it is not a write and wipe. It's a regular coloring page. So I picked that up for my little Ivy girl, and that was $1.99. And, oh, by the way, before I get into the rest of the stuff, I did want to mention, so that aisle that I was in, that is the aisle I was told was the crafting aisle, and it was sorely disappointing. But after I went through that aisle, I said, you know what, I'm going to go up and down a couple of more aisles before I leave the store. And I found a lady that worked there, and I asked her, I said, do you guys have any crafting materials, like paper crafting? And she pointed me to the aisle that I had just come from. And I said, well, I've already been down there. There really wasn't much I was interested in. And she says, well, in the center of the store, we've got some, she had some word she called it, but kind of like pallets with shelves on them. I don't know what she called them, but she said, there's some over there, so check there. And also, when you're heading towards the register, there's a long aisle that may have some more over there. I said, okay, fine. So I went over to that pallet area, and then I went over to the aisle close to the checkout. So I'm going to show you the things I found in those two places, which kind of excited me a little because I did find some things that I was interested in. So number one, they had these pencil cases, and they had them in a couple of different colors, but I chose the neon pink. These were 79 cents a piece, and I thought these would be great for swaps and embellishment boxes, and even just storage in my craft room. So I did get 2 of those. And then I found a couple of different styles of box cards, and I know I have seen people hauling pretty much everything I'm going to show you. So sorry for the repeat, but I'm sharing because this is my first Ollie haul. So this is Jen Hatfield's Stardust box cards. You get 40 cards, and there are a number of different designs in there, and you get the envelopes that go with them, and these were $1.99. And then there's this crepe paper style board box cards, and it's the same deal. You get a number of different cards and envelopes, and there are 40 in here, and this one was $1.99 as well. And then I found this sticker book here, and they had boxes upon boxes upon boxes of these sticker books. And this book here, it says it has 1,549 pieces, and this was $1.99. I don't know how many sheets are in here. It might be underneath there. On the back it says, well, it shows 12 sheets here, and it says 18 more pages on inside. Oh, here it says 18 pages on the inside. So just really quickly, you've got numbers, you've got letters, you've got days of the week, stuff for planners, cute little stickers, washies. Then there's some stickers in all kinds of different holidays and occasions. So really a nice little sticker book. So I did enjoy that. So I'm glad to have that. And I like that it has the little band on there to keep everything together. And then I found these. These are actually plastic pocket pages. Now they're not the size of the ones that we use for our pocket letters, but they have mini pockets, okay? And it does have the holes there for the 3-ring binder. And I thought these would be good to do mini pocket letters. You know, even if you just wanted to cut it here, or you wanted to cut it here, or you want to use the whole sheet, I thought these would be fun. And these, I think these were actually marked, and I picked up 4. These were marked $1 a piece, I think. But when I took them to the register, there was no tags on them. And the lady said, do you know how much these were? And I said, well, I think they were $1. I'll go back and I'll check. So I came back up to the register, and she says, oh, you can just have them. So I got these 4 for free. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. That was very nice. And then here's something I was super excited to find. They had a couple of huge boxes of these Garden Party Maggie Holmes chipboard pieces. So I picked up 4 of those. And I believe these were $1.99 each. Let's see. Yes, these were $1.99 each, and we all know we can use these. And while I don't have any Garden Party in my stash, we all know that Maggie Holmes matches Maggie Holmes, so these are going to be super useful. So I was happy to find those. And then I found a couple of boxes of this espresso color glitter cardstock, and this is Recollection Signature brand, and these were $1 a piece, so I picked up 2 of those. It's not something I would use very often, but I definitely can see myself using some of this, so 2 is probably enough for me. And then I found box upon box of this Copper Blues paper pad, and I do believe I have seen a number of people hauling this. This is by DCWV, and I think this was $1, and I haven't opened it. I'm not going to show you every page, but I think it's a gorgeous collection. I love the foils in here. I love the florals. The blues are so pretty. Just a really, really pretty paper pad. This is gorgeous. I love that one too. I love these. Just so pretty. This is gorgeous. So that's the Copper and Blues for $1. And the last item I picked up was this Park Lane Flower Garden. And when I tell you they had a lot of these, oh my word, if you wanted to buy this paper pad, and there are 180 sheets in here, you could buy it until you die. Okay, they had so much. This was $1.99, 180 sheets. I have seen a number of people hauling this, so I'm just going to do a very quick flip. I love the colors again. I love the florals in here. I think it's a great paper pad. Now, it is a thinner paper, but if you're using it for layering, it's perfect. Just really, really pretty. Awesome for summer and spring crafting, I think. Love the lavender. It's got some pretty yellows in there, greens, blues, oranges.
So just a really nice pad all the way around. And some florals in there, little flowers that I see. Yeah. Where are they? Yeah, little tiny roses. So a fun paper pad. Well, so that's what I got on my very first Ollie's run. And will I go back to Ollie's again? Probably not anytime soon. I wasn't super impressed by what I found there. I did not spend a lot of time there because I really wanted to get home from work because I knew it would be another half an hour or so after I left the store. So basically with the stop, it took me 2 hours to get home from work the other day, which did not make me happy at all. So I guess I kind of felt like I deserved to do a little shopping, and now I'm going to have to find some place in my stash to put these things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing my haul. Like I said, this is my first one. They probably will be far and few between because number one, I don't need anything. And number two, you just never know what you're going to find there. So it's going to be hit and miss. And so it was fun. I enjoyed myself, but I don't need anything. But thanks a lot for stopping by. Thanks for seeing what I picked up. I hope maybe I found something that you guys hadn't seen before. I doubt it, but maybe. And I will just catch you on the next crafty video. See you later, crafty peeps. Bye.